Alright, peace, Fabiola. Welcome. This is going to be your reading. Alright, so in this reading, we are going to be covering your sun, your moon. We're going to talk a little bit about Mercury, and we'll be talking about your ascendant as well. So let's begin with your ascendant. So your ascendant or your rising sign. You feel what I'm saying? So that is in Virgo, right? So with your rising sign being in Virgo, this makes your chart ruler the planet Mercury, if that makes sense. So ultimately, like Virgo is the more grounded aspect of Mercury. You feel me? I would say like Virgo deals with like I don't know if you know what the word psycho-cybernetics means, but psycho-cybernetics is like the study of how the brain or the mind influences like the body, or how like a computer influences like artificial intelligence to move around. You feel what I'm saying? It's like how the software and the hardware interact with each other. So for us, it's like how our mind interacts with our brain to get our brain to move. And so that's like very much the Virgo energy. You feel what I'm saying? Because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, right? And Mercury is a planet that deals with the mind. It deals with thought, it deals with logic, it deals with rationalization. And thus Virgo in of itself is a very rationalized sign. But the issue with Virgo is that they may be overly polarized towards like the material plane. And so what I mean by that is that they because it deals with analyzing, right? A lot of the times a Virgo may get pulled into the physical world and think that there is nothing beyond the physical world. Being an earthly sign, Virgo can be very reliant upon the five senses. You feel what I'm saying? And not always trust their intuition and feel like they need to see like proof. You feel me? Like evidence. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like it's a very Virgo thing. But yeah, ultimately though, with Virgo being here, it is good because it does allow an individual to be grounded and anchored. But the problem here is so Virgo and Pisces are opposites. You feel what I'm saying? And so one of the greatest opposition is that Pisces deals with the bigger picture. Pisces is a sign that deals with devotion and surrendering to God, that type of energy, and letting go. But then Virgo is a sign that's more practical and more grounded, and is more like, if it's to be, it's up to me type energy. You feel me? And thus, of course, Virgos are usually on it. You feel me? They're very worldly, and they know how to get the things they want in the world. You feel what I'm saying? But they a lot of the times fall short on the departments of life that deal with the spiritual, but they may be well versed in the material, if that makes sense. Now, ascendant in Virgo energy, like, okay, so I also want to say this: you have your ascendant and the deacon of renunciation within the constellation of Virgo. You feel what I'm saying? And so what this means, so Virgo, you feel me? Virgo, ultimately, right, is a sign that's associated with purification, right? And Virgo the Virgin, right? So that term, it's not per se explaining that like, like Virgos are sexless. Nah, not at all. But it's more elaborating on Virgo's purity. You feel me? Like, to give an example, from 4 p.m. to like 6 p.m. These are like Virgo hours. You feel me? And typically, like, if you think about it, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. these are around times where like people are getting ready to like call it a day and like go home and chill, you feel me, for a minute. Nah, I feel like I shouldn't even have brought up that up because I don't know where I'm going with that with that analogy. But yeah, like from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. This these hours are considered like the Virgo hours. You feel me? And I do feel like there's this like pure vibe about that around that time. Um, I hope I'm not just. I feel like I'm kind of just making shit up right now, so then I sound like that makes sense. But yeah, anyways, yeah, 6 p.m., 4 p.m. So the deacon of renunciation, right? To renunciate means to like technically I want to say like detox more like get rid yourself of something. Um, but I think yeah, it's like rid yourself of something. And this can be like ridding yourself of a belief or disassociate. It's like a pushing energy. You feel me? It's like ooh, that's crazy. So in the body, for instance, in the human body, Virgo rules like the digestive system. You feel what I'm saying? Um, the digestive system. Yeah, it rules the digestive system. You feel what I'm saying? And so what I was trying to say about renunciation, in so many ways, you can even say it's like the what the digestive system does. Right? Its job is to extract value and then repel away toxins. You feel what I'm saying? It's very much what it's very much what the Virgo energy is all about, especially in the Deacon of Renunciation. You feel me? And this can express through like even you having certain things. You feel me? That you have to like, and this can be like maybe addiction or like yeah, I'll leave it at that. Like just quote unquote impurities within yourself that you have to um, learn to like release and let go, cleanse. You feel what I'm saying? Okay, yeah. But like Virgo also is a sign that deals with like assisting others. You feel me? And being of service. So it's of great importance that you and of yourself, Hold on, give me a second. My apologies. That you and of yourself have found like something that you're willing to labor for. You feel me? Like a cause you feel worth working on. If that makes sense. Because yeah, that's ultimately what Virgo deals and is associated with. And I feel like for you, like especially with the moon and Aries energy, like maybe pursuing entrepreneurship, you feel me, like a business, that would actually be something that I would say you could look at. But I feel like yeah, but like honestly though, the Virgo energy, it's more about working for others, you feel me? And it can even be a good manager, for example. You feel me? Yeah. Like I don't know many Virgos that have their own businesses, but I know many Arieses that have their own businesses. You feel what I'm saying? And so another thing with Virgo versus Gemini is like Gemini is more like thinking it and like being ungrounded in the mental realm and just floating around and entertaining all these different ideas. But then Virgo is like actually taking the idea and making it into a reality. You feel me? And this goes back to Virgo's practicalityism, if that makes sense. But yeah. Um, I feel like with that Virgo energy here, like there's something that like you need to rid yourself of, or cleanse yourself from, or rid yourself of. You feel what I'm saying? Cleanse yourself, rid yourself of. But I feel like, because like the way that this energy expresses through me, I feel, because I also have my ascendant. I actually have my ascendant 27 degrees, and you have your ascendant 28 degrees Virgo. So it's the same thing. You feel me? Just 1 degree difference. But like for me, a lot of what I'm renunciating is like the education system, you feel me? And like just like the way that I'll just leave it like that, like the education system, you feel me? Like I feel like there's so much information that's intentionally left out, information that can benefit and value us, you feel me? Um, and so for me, that's what I tend to, like renunciate, and want to rearrange, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's very much the Virgo energy. It's all about rearranging things and making things better. Virgo is all about improvement. You know, um, yeah. So if we're to go on to talk about the Virgo sign, Virgo is a sign that deals with commitment as well. You feel me? Like yeah, it deals with commitment as well. They can be very committed. And this is a positive, but it can also be a negative in the sense that sometimes Virgo doesn't know when to walk away, whether that be a relationship, or whatever, you feel me, or whatever. Like they may cling on to something for too long, for so long that they forget that, like, yo, it's time to like, um, shit, cleanse the situation or walk away from the situation. You feel me? Um, because I feel like Virgos, they're primarily brought to those circumstances and situations which are like toxic because they're needing to cleanse it. You feel me? Or I feel like Virgo, they can be bridges. They can be a bridge as well. A bridge. A bridge, but like a bridge for another person. Because Virgo is a sign that deals with healing as well. And I was thinking about how Virgo is associated with like cement, not dried cement, but like wet cement. Because that's earth, but it's a solid, but it's a liquid. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a liquid solid that is used to put things together, mold things together. And so I feel like, yeah, Virgo is very much asked or put in positions where it's asked to like fix things. You feel me? But yeah, so in like evolutionary astrology, once Virgo evolves, you feel what I'm saying? Virgo is tasked with purifying the vessel. So then it's not just the vessel. It's like Virgo is a sign with purifying the world. Not the world, its world, you feel me? So like the vessel, its environment, all that good, the food, all that good stuff. So then the divine can, so then, okay, let me say this again. So once Virgo evolves, it realizes that it needs to purify and cleanse, especially its body. So then the body becomes a better vessel for God, for spirit, or for light, for what I'm saying. But yeah, so that's also why like Virgo deals with health and healing, and like herbs and natural healing and all those things. Alright, so we talked enough about Virgo, you feel me? But of course you have your sun and your moon. Your sun and your moon in Virgo, you feel what I'm saying? So it wasn't unwarranted for. So I'm about to smoke a little bit of weed, you feel me? Before we proceed, you feel me? Okay. So as I was saying though, Virgo. Well, we completed Virgo. But let me think if there's anything else about Virgo. Virgo's a really cool sign in the sense that they have an ability to do for others, and like, yeah, service others and help others, I feel like a Virgo is very kind and heart-centered, you know. That's one thing that Virgo and Pisces share, I feel. Their heart-centeredness. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, I'll leave it at that. Like, there may be a balancing that's needed when it comes to material versus spiritual. But like, this brings me to the fact that you have your Virgo. I hope that you can see me, because from my angle it looks dark. You feel me? But yeah, like, this brings me to the conclusion that, like, Virgo, my bad, not Virgo, that you have your sun in the 12th house. So 12th house is the house that deals with, like, the spirit realm, you feel me? And it deals with, like, spirits, um, entities that are disembodied, meaning entities and deities that don't have a physical body, but they still exist, you feel what I'm saying? So, with that being said, with your ascendant being here, my bad, with your sun being here, first and foremost, this makes it that the spiritual plane becomes very active, you feel me? But then Virgo may have a tendency, that's the word, a tendency, you feel me, to overlook things that you can't explain rationally. Because Virgo is all about how, like, how. Virgo wants to know how, you feel me? And it's on a journey to discover and explore the how in life. Like, yo, we're here and we exist and we're breathing. How? That's Virgo, you feel me? But yeah, so, and that can be a hindrance, blockage, you know, because certain things are not meant to be rationalized, you know, like God, very much, you can't rationalize God, you feel me? Like, you can't, I mean, you can try, but I feel like God, what God is, you feel me, and all of that is, like, beyond comprehension, beyond thoughts, you feel me? Because, yeah, you're right, like, you feel what I'm saying, you feel what I'm saying, I think. But if you don't feel what I'm saying, it's like, we're a speck, you feel me, in comparison to the vastness of the cosmos and of the world, you feel me? So it's like, there's certain shit that we can barely even understand. So there's certain shit that, like, you allow your intuition to satisfy, you feel me? You allow feelings to satisfy that thing rather than logic. But, like, so ultimately, the 12th house is also a sacrificial house, you feel me? Like, Virgos can be very self-sacrificial, but then the 12th house is also a very self-sacrificial house. And it's a house that deals with, I would say, kindness, you feel me? But more so, the 12th house is a house that deals with the collective consciousness, right? And it also deals with like, the unconscious mind. And so, with that being said, a lot of the times, Sun in the 12th house individuals may find themselves to feel as if they are invisible, because, like, it deals with the unconscious, but also this is the house where it's the last house, you feel me? So the first house, or the first sign also, is a sign of emanation, you feel me? It deals with, like, a spark, a possibility, you know, like, yeah, possibility and potentiality. But then the 12th house, or the sign Pisces, the last house, is like, yo, this is it, like, we've come to the end and we've experienced all that is to be experienced. And so, yeah, lesson completed, you feel me? And so thus, Pisces is a sign that deals with surrendering to the greater picture, you feel me? It's kind of like when one cell, right, like an embryo, right, a baby, right, is developing, and it's just a cell. When it divides from one cell into two cells, like, it splits itself in half, you feel me? So it's technically still the same, but now there's two of it. But it's like, in that splitting of two, a new identity has manifested, you feel me? It's like there's two, but they're one, so there's a third party. So one is one by itself and the other is one by itself. But then when they're merged or considered as a unit, it's one. So it's three, if that makes sense. But it's like before this can turn into this, it had to let go of this, you feel me, to become this, if that makes sense. So it's like when we surrender, right, it's all about letting go of the ego, right? And this is the ego. But then when this is this, right, when it splits into two, then it has dissolved and let go of its ego, right? Its familiarity. So that's what the 12th house is all about. And so with this placement right here, these individuals, may go through life where they feel like they're never really put in a position where they're the center of the stage. Hold on, I gotta think about that though, because you also have like your Mercury in Leo and your Venus in Leo. And Leo is the sign of the center stage, you feel me? But like Mercury in Leo, this indicates that when you think and when you express your thoughts, you like to be paid attention to, you feel me? You want to be paid attention to. Like, Leo naturally brings attention. And like, because Leo's ruled by the sun, right? And the sun naturally brings attention. When you go out, the first thing you're paying attention to, if you live in Arizona, right, like I do, is like the sun, right? Maybe how hot it is, or maybe how bright it is, I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? But that's the sun, it brings attention. And Leo's ruled by the sun. But anyways, yeah, that's the 12th house for you. So the 12th house, it also deals with like, it's a karmic house, honestly. That's why these individuals are like isolated, for lack of a better word. Feel me? It's a house of isolation as well. But like the way that it deals with the collective consciousness is like it's tapped into the collective consciousness in a manner where it's able to like with your sun being in the 12th house, you're a sort of person who has an awareness of things that maybe you shouldn't have an awareness of. But ultimately, it's like with this placement, the best advice I can give is like it is important that you become of yourself a spiritual individual and you start to become aware of like your ancestors even, or like just spirits, you feel me? Because sun in the 12th house individuals are influenced by spiritual forces, unseen forces, if they know it or not. So when you go on to learn that your sun is in the 12th house, what you want to do is you want to start becoming more active spiritually, you feel what I'm saying? Unfortunately though, the 12th house is also a house that deals with imprisonment, you feel me? And so this can be physically finding yourself incarcerated, you feel me? Locked up. But a lot of the times it's like mentally or spiritually locked up. Because also you can't be physically imprisoned until you've been mentally and spiritually imprisoned. Because the spiritual plane, it's like an expression of everything that already happened, you know? So things happen in the mental and in the spiritual plane first, and the physical is like just the expression, you know? It's like the shadow, the residue, the last, the imitation, you feel me? It's like there's puppets, right? A hand, the puppeteer, and then we are the puppets. That's the physical plane. And so you can be physically incarcerated until you're mentally or spiritually incarcerated. You feel me? And so I feel like with this placement, like learning to surrender is of great importance, and learning to let go and not need control, you feel me? Learn to let go and learn to just let go and not want to control, as you may have a desire to, you feel me? It's important, you know, with this energy here. But alright, so that's the 12th house, and now we'll be talking about your moon, which is in Aries, you feel me? But in Aries, in the house of what? That's the question for today. Okay, so you have your moon in the 7th house. Damn. So your moon is in the 7th house, and it's in the sign Aries. So what this means is that So what this means is that so Aries is a sign that deals with the I, the self, the me. You feel me? But then the seventh house is the house of the partnerships and the relationships. You feel me? The love interests. So you're a type of person who you think a lot about, like, well, rather I should say you invest a lot of energy in reacting and responding to so emotions, right? When it comes to relationships, and this a lot of the times is love interests, wanting a boo thing, wanting a boyfriend, you feel me, a girlfriend, you feel me, or both, if you're into that, for what I'm saying, like, that's the seventh house. It deals with partnerships. But furthermore, like, if you were a businesswoman, right, and you had business partners, they would also fall into the seventh house, as the seventh house deals with personal relationships in general. You feel me? Relationships that are going to personally affect you, but relationships that you're personally affected in or associated in. And so, with your moon being in the seventh house, you are a very personal relationship type of person. And what I mean by this is you spend a lot of time reacting and responding to your relationships. You feel me? Reacting and responding to your relationships in the sense of, like, introspecting, right? Reflecting and being like, could I have done this better? Could I have done that better? Now, with Moon in Aries, with the seventh house in Aries also, Moon, Aries, seventh house, Aries is a very, like, assertive sign, you feel me? It's very, um, it's masculine, it's very dominating. And so it also deals with the self, the me, the I. So everything and anything Aries does, it does it with passion and enthusiasm and excitement. So we're talking about the moon in Aries here. So this makes your emotions very animated. You're an individual who is very expressive. When you're happy, everyone knows. Um, hold on, I'm thinking. Yeah, I guess it's kind of fair for me to say that when you're happy, everyone knows. Because Aries is the type of sign that also likes the attention, you feel me? But yeah, so, with the moon being in Aries, like, anger also may find a way to arise, you feel what I'm saying? And, like, violence tendencies may also find a way to arise. Violence, especially in the department, like, in the domestic life, you feel me? Or maybe, like, in, like, partnerships, because Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is the planet of war, you feel me? And so this makes you, in of yourself, an individual who is very strong, right? So it's like, yeah, you have that Virgo energy, and, like, Virgo is a sign that can be too nice and thus taken advantage of, too soft. It's a feminine sign, it is feminine, you feel me? Um, but then, like, Aries is a masculine sign, and it's assertive, and it's about, like, even fighting, you feel me? Getting physical. So I feel like with this energy here, um, like, you're a strong woman who's known for morals and principles. You feel me? Like, um, yeah, like, so I don't, like, you're probably a person who, because Virgo is also a peaceful sign. They're not really angry like that, or they don't express their anger outwardly. Okay. But, like, the moon in Aries will express its, like, emotions outwardly. You feel me? It's a placement where people have to find a way to release that emotion. You feel me? Because it's intense. But I feel like Aries is more like high intense emotions, that are short, you feel me? Whereas a water sign can fall into depressiveness. But I feel like Aries is the type of sign that will be angry, but then they will let go. You feel me? They will let it go. Nah, it's interesting because Aries is the type of sign that sometimes an Aries will hold a grudge. Right? Look, the sign of Aries is all about the self, the me, the I, the ego. So it's like sometimes an Aries won't let something go that happened to them because they took it personally. You feel me? Like with your moon being in the 7th house, you are this does makes you a very relationship type of individual. You react and respond a lot to your relationships, which I already said. And it's also an indication that there is a lot of activity, right? Because Aries is a sign of activity, and you have your moon in the deacon of activity as well. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I want to mention, I forgot to mention earlier, is that your sun is in the deacon of achievement within the sign Virgo, right? And so what this means is that in this life, you're meant to achieve things, and you should channel your abilities towards achieving things. Make goals for yourself and things like that. You feel me? And then go on to achieve them. Because like I said earlier, Virgo deals with work and labor, right? And so you're working and you're laboring, then you should be working and laboring towards achieving things, right? But yeah, I forgot to mention that. But yeah, so the moon is in the deacon of Aries, which is the deacon of activity, right? And I feel like, because Aries is it's a feeling sign, right? Because the fire signs are feelers, and so fire deals with feeling, water deals with emotion. Feeling is more expressed outwardly, emotion is more expressed inwardly. But feelings start as emotions, you feel me? But yeah, I feel like also with the moon being here, this does make you a very assertive person. You're probably the dominant one in the relationship, you feel me? You may also attract feminine men, you feel me, with this placement here, moon in Leo, because you are a pretty masculine woman yourself. And so interesting thing about the Virgo placement is that Virgo men tend to be feminine, and Virgo women tend to be more masculine, you feel me, than the men. Like the Virgo men are more feminine than the Virgo women, and the Virgo women are more masculine than the Virgo men, you feel me? Like the Virgo men are more internal than the Virgo women are more external, you feel me, as well, for sure. But yeah, with that moon and Leo energy, that also does very much make you a very external type of individual, you feel me? But yeah, you're also very adventurous. You like to have fun. You like to change it up. There's no need for the same thing. But this is more like Aries' impulsiveness. It can be an impulsive sign, but I think more so like it likes stimulation as well. You like to be stimulated. You feel what I'm saying? I'll leave it at that. That's pretty much that. You feel me? Now let's look at your Virgo. My bad. Your Mercury, which is in Leo, in the 11th house. So with your Mercury being in Leo in the 11th house, this makes you a type of individual who will be listened to. You feel me? Like once you have something to say and the time comes, then you will be listened to. But it's like Mercury deals with communication. It deals with how you express your thoughts into the outward world. You feel me? And Leo, right, which you have your Mercury in, is a sign that deals with expression. It deals with getting your will across. You feel me? Or enforcing your will onto like your environment or onto like a reality. So Leo is it's a leader sign, and so when you think of a leader, a charismatic individual who people are listen to them when they speak, that's very much the Leo energy. And with this Mercury and Leo in the 11th house, the 11th house is the house that deals with groups of people, networks, associations, distant relatives. So it deals with people that you're not close to or you're not yeah, you're not in immediate contact with, but these are people you're far from, but you still have associations with. So Mercury being here, and this can even be like in the on the internet, you feel me? But this is primarily where like your thoughts are expressed through, and this can even be like the friends, you feel me? Because you can have certain friends that you hang out with on the social setting, but you don't come close. But then it's like Mercury being in the 11th house and then your moon being in the 7th house makes you a people person, you feel me? A people person. A people person, you know. But it's like, yeah. But it's like the difference between like fire and air signs is like a fire sign will appreciate being around people because of the attention they receive. But it's like attention is a currency in of itself, you feel me? Um like the attention and the recognition. But it's like it's more than just the attention and the recognition. Like the activity as well, you feel me? I feel like that's why fire signs are more extroverted, because they appreciate the activity that can happen in relation with others. But then air signs, they more appreciate like the communication aspect of relationships. I hope that made sense. Yeah. Then for the most part, Aries is also very lone wolf type of energy, solo dolo, you feel me? But like Mercury and Leo energies, they're the type of individuals who find esteem in themselves to the degree where they spread the esteem and they make other people around them feel comfortable being themselves, right? Because Leo is all about the self as well and the identity. So that's another cool thing. Um, yeah, like Leo, Venus, well, they're not conjunct. Leo, Mars, I think is conjunct and stuff. But yeah, anyways, like Mercury here also makes you a very creative person. You feel me? So there's definitely something you have in the bag that you can take advantage of applying. You know, like your creativity. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, all right, my friend. So this has pretty much been the reading. Let me know if you would be interested in doing the full reading. I would definitely love to do that for you. And so within the full reading, it's more, I would say, organized in the sense that before I do the reading, I take notes, and I break down where you have like your planets to the degree, you feel me? And throughout the reading, talk about everything from like the aspects to the signs to the planets to the houses, and then you're also given advice, you feel me, on certain things you can do to, let's say, remedy the way that the planets are expressing within your chart, you feel what I'm saying, etc, etc. But yeah, definitely let me know if you'd be interested in moving forward with the full reading. Alright, peace, my friend, and let me know what you thought about this reading as well. Alright, bye bye. Oh, and by the way, while you're here, subscribe, you know, why not? I upload like all these cool videos, you feel me, on like occult information, you know. So like right now we're talking about mentalism and the law of correspondence. So definitely feel free to check that out. Alright, peace for real this time.